So you telling me I have to save 3 months' salary just to get you an engagement ring, another $10,000+ on a wedding just to impress other people, put 20% down on a $400,000 home just to get the same box that I've been getting for the past few years, and then possibly lose half of what I have whenever you choose to divorce me?
So that video was sent to me today. This black man feels that marriage is a scam. He feels that it's a scam because he said he'd have to save 3 checks or a whole bunch of work checks. You know how it is to get the ring. Then he has to pay for a wedding. Then he has to pay for a house. And then he has to worry about her divorcing him and taking half. So I wanted to do a real quick show. This ain't gonna be no long drawn out show, probably about an hour, because a lot of people feel that marriage is a trap or a scam or it's the devil. Don't do it. Nothing good is gonna come out of it. So for those who want to know why I'm doing the show, it's to address this black man who feels that marriage is a scam. So if you guys have not seen the video, it has been floating around on TikTok. It has been circulating everywhere, and people are agreeing with the man. Of course, I disagree. So before I officially start talking about why I disagree, I want some of the people who just joined, because I know that this is not the norm for me to do a show this late. So I want to play it one more time for y'all, so y'all can hear this man explain to y'all why he feels that marriage is your modern day scam. So let me play it for you one more time. Here we go.
Me, I have to save 3 months' salary just to get you an engagement ring, another $10,000+ on a wedding just to impress other people, put 20% down on a $400,000 home just to get the same box that I've been getting for the past few years, and then possibly lose half of what I have whenever you choose to divorce me?
So y'all hear him, right? He's clearly scared out of his fucking mind. But here's the question I have for people who are thinking like this black man. If you feel like a woman's going to divorce you and take half, don't marry her. That's not the woman for you, right? Most men marry women that have been with them from the bottom all the way to the fucking top, right? They marry someone that they trust, that they know is not going to leave, that they know it's not going to divorce them because they've been together long enough to know each other well, right? But if you feel like you can't trust her, get a prenup. Then you won't. But let's keep it real, people. Most of your modern day men are not making Bill Gates money, Jeff Bezos money. Y'all not even making 1 million. Your modern day men are making about 50 to 70,000 a year. So what half is she gonna fucking take? Huh? Let's be realistic. Let's keep this shit all the way real. You got a studio, you're barely making 50,000 a year, and you're worried about a woman taking half? What, half of your check? Because they can't do that. So let's be real. A lot of y'all don't have land and property and stocks and bonds. Let's keep this shit all the way 100. Y'all complaining about the gas prices. So what half is this woman gonna take? I'm listening. Not a motherfucking thing, because you ain't got shit to take. Let's just be real. Your modern day households, nobody's making enough money where you're taking half. Okay? We're just going to be real. But my question is, if you're scared to get married, how come you're not scared when it comes to having sex and nutting in this woman and being stuck with this woman for 18 years? That's a contract, right? That's worse. I would rather marry someone, it doesn't work out, we get a divorce, we go our separate ways, than to be stuck with a motherfucker for 18 years and longer if they go to college, longer if they have a disability. So let's be real. Let's say a man didn't want to marry this woman, but he nutted in her. She puts him on child support. Let's say he's paying $7,000 a year in child support. Over 18 years, that's about $120,000. So really, it's cheaper to marry the bitch, because 120,000 over 18 years, that's a lot of money you just gave up. That's less than what you paid on the engagement ring. That's less than what you paid on the wedding, right? Let's just keep it 100. Let's say you paid 3 grand for her ring. Let's say you paid 10 grand for the wedding. That's $13,000. Let's say you paid 3 grand for the honeymoon. Now we have $16,000. Y'all get married, you're living life, and it doesn't work out. Would you rather lose 16,000, or would you rather have to pay 126,000? It's up to you. Some men pay more in child support. I'm just saying 7,000 a year. because typically that's the norm. And that's just child support. That's just if you have one kid. Let's say you had 3 or 4 kids with a woman that you didn't want to marry. Why are you nutting in her then? Nutting in her is going to be worse, fellas. Y'all can be scared of marriage all you want. I would be more scared to have a baby by the bitch. Because now you are stuck with this woman. You might as well get married to her because you're going to have to be around her for 18 plus years. Am I right or wrong? So if you're scared to be married, just say that shit. But don't bash the people who decided to marry someone that they love, trust, support, and care for. If you want to be single and lonely and keep fucking different bitches all night, live that life. When you get sick, how many of them bitches gonna be at your hospital bed? When you break a leg, how many of them bitches is gonna come running to you? They're only gonna be there for you because of the benefit you brought to them. But they don't really give a fuck about you. That's why people get married. They want someone not to just sleep in bed with, but they want someone to wake up to as well. Right? That's just keeping it 100. But you can't go around saying that you don't want to be married because you don't want to be stuck in debt or you don't want her taking half. If you think a woman's going to take half, don't marry her. It's that simple, fellas. It is. I just feel like with this kind of video, it just shows a lot of what people think. Because I ask people all the time, you said you don't want to be married, but why do you have 3 kids with the bitch? So you don't trust her enough to be married to you, but you trust her enough to get your seed? Can somebody make that make sense? I know I'm not just preaching to myself tonight. How can you trust that same woman you didn't want to marry with your seed? That makes no sense. It's worse. And then if you move on, you got to still deal with that woman for 18 years. That's worse than marriage in my book because you didn't see a future with the woman, but you're still nutting in her, right? So which one is worse? Marrying someone, taking a chance on a marriage with someone that you've been with for a while, that you love and support, or nutting in someone you don't want to be with long term. Then you move on and have to worry about her putting you on child support because you moved on. You tell me what's worse. And if you get married and have kids, of course, you guys were married at one point and you had kids. But all these doubts that men have, I don't know if she's going to take half. I don't know if she's going to do this. People can make calculated moves even before you get married. All I'm saying, fellas, is you can't be scared to marry someone because you're scared she's going to take half. If you feel like a woman may take half, you shouldn't marry her. That is so simple. That's rocket science. You can't tell me that that's not hard for you to decide. You should marry a woman that you don't trust. But all I'm saying is y'all out here having these bastard babies. You're out here nutting in these bitches, nutting in these city girls, right? But then saying you don't want to be married because it's the contract. Well, when they put your ass on child support, that's a fucking contract too. It's a worse one because now you're under the government's control. They're going to rip money out of every single one of your checks. And if you get fired or decide not to pay, your ass is going to be butt buddies with Chino and CelebriD. So which one do you think is worse? All I'm saying is if you don't want to be married, don't have bastard kids with the bitch either. Because anywhere it goes, you're going to be stuck with her, right? Voluntarily or involuntarily. It's up to you. But what I found funny was he didn't explain why it's better to have kids with people you don't want to be married to. Can someone tell me the benefit of having a baby with someone you don't want to be married to? Please, someone tell me in the comments. Because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is a benefit. Maybe child support is a reward to these niggas. Maybe they're happy to be on child support and be controlled by the government. You get a bonus in your check. Now the child support increases. Maybe men like that shit. But don't say you're scared of marriage because it's a contract. When they put your ass on child support, that's a contract too. It's just one that you wouldn't want to fuck with. Because if you don't abide by that contract, you're going to be playing butt buddies in prison. So it's up to you. You tell me which one is worse. But don't bash people like myself who are happily married. It's fun to have fun and be single. If you want to be single for the rest of your life and fuck bitches all day, that's fine. But when you get sick, I want you to tell me how many of them bitches is going to be right there for you. You're not paying them now. You're not giving them money. You're not taking them on lavish trips. Most of y'all niggas pay more making these women happy than it would cost to be married to a woman. Tell me I'm wrong. Most of y'all can't even get a woman's attention unless you flash a couple dollars. So you're really losing in both instances, guys. What I'm saying is you definitely got to rethink how you feel about marriage because at the end of the day, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. If you do want to do it, that's great. But you should never judge other people because they decided to get married. It's not a bad deal. People keep talking about what they have to do. I have to pay for the ring. I have to pay for the wedding. Well, then you should be marrying that bitch. Period. If she's not going to contribute, if her family's not going to contribute, and again, that's something you would establish before you even say I do, right? Because the people I know, the men didn't have to pay for everything. I hang around with a lot of married folks, and the women contributed equally to that marriage. They went in together. So if a man has to pay for everything, then maybe you shouldn't be marrying that city girl, right? That's all I'm saying. Because men don't have to do it all anymore. They don't. And some women don't want a big lavish wedding. They don't want the BET wedding, the Gucci Mane wedding. A lot of women don't want that superficial shit. They don't mind going to the courthouse. Actually, a lot of black couples are now going to the courthouse. Why have a big wedding to impress people you don't like? That's true. That's why they go to the courthouse and get their stuff solidified, and then they go on a nice little small trip, and they back to reality. Some people like the modern things. They like to do the different things. Nobody likes to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars if you don't got it. That's true. But how many people are actually spending that much on a wedding that you know personally? Not many, right? They might do it at the church, spend a couple a couple thousand, but they're not spending a couple of $100,000. No, they're not. What people you hanging with? And the thing is, a lot of people, like Q said, Q the legend, a lot of people are coming from a hurt place. They don't want to get married because somebody broke their heart. Somebody made them mad. That's not a reason to shit on people who are married. Because you got a lot of people that are married and everything is going fine. They got somebody that has their back. If they get sick, that person is right there. If you want to be single by yourself, answer this question. If you were to get sick right now, where you had to be fed, where somebody had to wipe your ass, which one of them hoes in your phone is going to come down there and do it for you for free? That's the question I have. Because that's what people tend to forget. You're not always going to be healthy and on your feet. You can't predict your life. But if you got a woman that got your back or a man that got your back, you're not alone in that journey. That's the difference, right? That's why people get married and they settle down, because that hot girl and city boy lifestyle, it's temporary, because you're going to get older, right? And all those people you blew off because you didn't want to get married, now they're all happily married, and you're the old single angry person that goes to the bar trying to pick up chicks and nobody wants you. What I'm saying is, when people say marriage is a scam, I say, explain to me why. If you have to say then that's your problem. Because marriage might be a scam to you, but what about the marriages that are thriving? I'm a black woman that's married. I've been with my husband almost 12 years. So what kind of scam are we having right now? And for people to say, well, I'm worried she's going to take half. What do you do for a living? How much do you make a year? Let's be real. Your modern day man is not making no $500,000 a year. So what half is she going to take from you? Would you rather her take what? The dog? One of the cars? Right? What is she really taking from you? You ain't got shit. But I think that going through a woman taking half and you having to pay that woman for 18 years, you tell me what's worse. Because a lot of y'all niggas are under a contract. It's called child support. And you're stuck with that bitter, angry, toxic woman for 18 plus years. And I'm saying plus, because if he goes to college, that is still your responsibility, fellas. So you're always going to be paying that woman. And she's always going to be laughing in your face. While she's riding on a new dick, that money's still going to come like clockwork. Because if you don't pay it, you're going to be paying butt buddies. So again, which one is worse? If you don't want to be married, you shouldn't be nutting in women either. Because you don't get a good deal out of that either. It's worse. I know a lot of people who are married and it's going very well. It's just that you guys look up to these celebrities and you think that that's how life is. It really isn't. You got a lot of down women that have your back. She may not be the Beyonce or, the top-notch queen that you're looking for, but she'll have your back and she'll love you, right? Yep, Ice Cube. We can name a lot of people. Denzel Washington, LL Cool J. You got a lot of marriages that are thriving, where these black men have been married. Omar Epps. A lot of these people have been married for over a couple of decades, and they're still going strong. LeBron James. Hell, Stephen Curry. All these brothers are married, and they're top level celebrities. We all know who they are, right? They're married. Barack Obama, Michelle Obama. They've been married for decades. So it does work. Barack don't look stressed. He don't look mad. He got a black woman in his corner. See? So marriage is not a scam. It's only a scam for those who are scared and they're cowardly. Because most of the people that call marriage a scam, how many kids you got? 2? You paying child support? Yeah. That's a scam. Because you're stuck. You still got to call that bitter baby mama every other week to try to see your kids, right? And y'all not even married. That's a scam. You got to go to every court appearance when they try to put an increase on your child support. If the kid gets hurt, you got to make sure the medical bills are paid. That's a scam. We're only talking about child support for 18 years. We're not talking about if the kid gets sick, if the kid gets hurt, if the kid goes to college. We're not talking about all that extra money you're going to be forking up. So y'all going to be paying about $150,000 over 18 years. I guess that to y'all is better because it's spread out, right? Come on, fellas. Y'all can't be thinking this dumb in America. You can't be this fucking stupid. If you're scared of marriage, just say that. And I can tell when a man is scared. Most men are just scared. So they call it a scam because they're scared. But they know brothers that are married where everything is going well. And the only reason why I decided to do the show, because a lot of black men agree with him. Oh, yeah, marriage sucks. Yeah. Who hurt y'all? Y'all sound very hurt. Because I would say the same for a woman. Like, men, you don't marry women you just met off of the Broadway. You get to know the woman. Go through the depths with this woman. Tell her you ain't got no money and see how she reacts. Because most men are not spending no $5,000 on a ring and $20,000 on a wedding. Nobody's spending that these days. Y'all ain't got money like that. Let's keep it 1,000 tonight. Most of y'all don't even have $1,000 in your savings account. So what the fuck you talking about half? You overdrawn. You're negative right now in your bank account, but you talking about half? Some of y'all don't even have that to give. So what are you scared about? If y'all living in a studio apartment taking a bus, what half is she gonna take? A light bulb? A gallon of milk? What is she gonna take? Are y'all that terrified of marriage? But y'all not terrified to be on child support. I would be more terrified to be on child support. Because if you lose your job and that child support doesn't stop, and if it gets to a certain amount where it's a high level, they come and get your ass and take you to prison. And now you're fighting for your butthole. So you tell me what's worse, fellas. Now, I can see if you're a single man, 50 years old, saying, fuck marriage, and I don't want no marriage, and I don't have no... Okay, you don't have no marriage, no kids, fine. But what happens when you get sick? What happens when you need somebody? And you got to pay for their company. Is that what you really want for your life? Because most women ain't going to be there for you to wipe your ass if you're not paying. That ain't your wife. She's not going to perform wifely duties. That ain't the way it works, fellas. You got to have something that they want. I'm just saying, a lot of y'all worried about a woman taking half and y'all don't even have shit to give. But y'all don't mind paying close to $150,000, maybe more. Like Jerome said, some men in their lifetime pay $250,000. If you got a good job, oh, you paying. And let's not forget, if you have more than one kid, you're really in trouble. You got some men that barely even see their checks. And I say, well, wow, you're paying child support. You're not, because if you were married, you wouldn't be on child support. That's the difference. When you get married to a woman and it doesn't work out and you guys divorce, she can't just put you on child support because you guys were married. That is where you guys get 50-50 custody. It's actually easier to get custody when you're having a divorce going through. Because then you guys were under one roof. You guys were actually married. They're not just going to side with the woman. It doesn't work like that when you guys were one union. But when you guys are both just single and fucking, and then she gets pregnant, 10 times out of 10, your ass would be on child support. I agree, Jerome. Right. A lot of these men don't even see how much, they don't even calculate how much they would pay over 18 years. But they worried about a marriage contract. So what I'm saying, fellas, is you cannot be scared of marriage. You can't. It's not that bad at all. If you love that person, what's the goal then? If you're getting with a woman and y'all dating, you want to be an Oprah and Stedman? Oh, so y'all want to be together for 30 years with no marriage. Okay, that's fine. You can be girlfriend and boyfriend for 30 years. That sounds really good. Sounds wonderful. Oh, yeah, this is my girlfriend. Yeah, we've been girlfriend and boyfriend for 20 years. Y'all should get married. The only thing that's going to change is her last name. That's the only thing. Y'all already been together this long. But my thing is, if you don't want to get married, you shouldn't be having no bastard babies either. Because to me, that's worse. It makes you look bad as a man because you didn't want to marry this woman, but you didn't mind nothing in this woman. Y'all fellas got to make the shit make sense. You don't want a marriage contract, but you don't mind a child support contract. So maybe I should do a poll. Fellas, which one? Marriage contract, child support contract. Just to see what these dumb motherfuckers say. That's going to be my next poll. Which one? Which one do you think is better? But guess what? Only one comes with 18 years of you having to pay. That's the only difference. The other one, you can break at any time. At any time, you can break it. Getting a divorce, if you don't have no money, y'all just walk away from it, just like that. But most of y'all ain't hitting the lottery while you married. So worrying about a woman taking half should be the last thing on your list. Come on, fellas. Y'all not making no $250,000 a year. And if you are, what are you doing? Because if you were making that amount of money, then you would know who to marry. And if you're not sure if you can trust a woman, get a prenup then if you don't trust her. Get a prenup. Or get married and have there be, put a contract in place that if you guys don't work out, you guys will just divorce and no one takes anything. You can put those kind of rules when you get married, guys. You can put those rules in there. You really can. That if she cheats or if you cheat, the marriage will be over and nobody gets nothing. You can do that. So there are so many things you can put in place if you're scared to protect your money, to protect your legacy. I get that. A Slick Man just said something big. He said marriage, from what I heard, is not a scam if you find the right woman. And Slick Man, that is true. You would hope for the man to marry a woman that he actually trusts. If you guys will stop marrying after 3 months, you wouldn't have to divorce. Take your time and get to know her or know him, right? And if you got a high-paying job, you can protect your assets. Nothing against her. But you can put it that if anything happened to you, it'll go to your kid. Or this will happen. You can also put in your marriage clause that if she cheats, she gets nothing. But if you cheat, she gets half. And if you're scared to do that, then you shouldn't marry her. Because that means that you're telling yourself that you're gonna cheat. See? You can always put rules in the marriage if you wanted to. Or if you guys grow apart, you guys will walk away and nobody gets nothing. You guys split everything down the middle. It's up to you how you want to put the rules in. But guys, what I'm saying is that black man said that on Twitter today, and it really saddened me that this is what people think. You have more broken homes. You have more kids growing up in homes where both parents are not there. He didn't want to marry my mom, but he didn't mind nutting in my mom. You know, boys do think like that when they get older. So, Pops, you didn't want to marry moms, but you didn't mind fucking on moms, right? You had me, you had this kid, that kid. So why are you procreating with women that you don't want to marry? You trust them enough to have your seed, but you don't trust them to wear your ring. That's crazy talk. Right, Angel, they can. Like I said, you guys can sell. The guy also said, I got to put $400,000 down on a house. Y'all ain't got that. Y'all ain't got $400,000 in your pocket. Come on, fellas. Let's be realistic. Women don't either. But if a man thinks that he has that much money where he has to pay for the ring, he has to pay for the wedding, he has to pay for the honeymoon, and he has to pay for the house, what kind of job are you doing? Because most of your modern day men are making about 60 grand a year. That's just being realistic. If y'all know somebody in the comments right now, if y'all know somebody that makes $250,000 a year, what do they do for a living? Because if they're not a doctor, a judge, a lawyer, then you're really only making the standard income, about 50, 60,000 a year. And trust me, when it comes to divorce, they can't take half of your work check. Come on, fellas. Let's just be realistic here. Okay, look, I'm going through the comments. My older brother been married to his wife since 2009, been with her for 22 years. Okay, so if your brother has been married to her since 2009, but he's been with her longer, that means he took his time to get to know her. That's perfectly okay. You're not just going to marry someone you just met off the street. All I'm saying, guys, is if you're scared of marriage, give me a reason why. And I don't want to hear that it's a contract. I don't want to hear that. because you guys are signing a contract every time you nut in a woman that you don't want to be with. Some of y'all nut in women on the first night and get her pregnant. That is crazy. So you not only trusted this woman by raw dogging her, you weren't scared of getting AIDS. You weren't scared of getting syphilis, STDs, but you're scared to marry somebody? Woo, y'all crazy as fuck. Because back in the day, you had to do a blood test in order to get married. A blood test. They don't do that anymore. But y'all not afraid to raw dog a woman on the first night, but you're afraid to get married. Y'all not making no sense. A lot of women say it too. I don't want to be married because I don't want to be held down. But you don't mind that man nutting in you. And then he moves on to the next broad. And now you're stuck battling him in court over child support. That's a better life. You're right. That's a way better life. Government assistance, food stamps. Yeah, you're right. That's better than marriage. Come on. Let's just be realistic here. If you don't want to marry a man or marry a woman, then you shouldn't want to have a bastard baby with that person either. Because that's worse. Y'all got to start using your brains and stop using your dicks. Real talk. He said, okay, hold on. When we got a wedding chapel package where we got pictures, video rent to the chapel. Okay, so you paid $500. So, KA, it sounded to me like when you got married, you didn't spend no hundreds of thousands of dollars like this man was saying in the video. He said, I got to save all this salary for the ring, $10,000 for the wedding. Now, you know you ain't got no $10,000. If you're saying you got to save a few paychecks for the ring, how you got $10,000 in for the wedding? Are we not making it make sense? Like I said, if you got a woman that's high maintenance, you probably shouldn't marry her. You marry the woman that was with you when you didn't have a dime. You marry the woman that where you guys had to scramble to put $1 together just to get a burger. And y'all split it. You know, Kendrick Lamar said him and his girl was poor. They struggled. There were times where he gave her food and he starved. You can literally hear his stomach growling. And he knew she was hungry. And she still gave him half of her food. That's love. That's love. Y'all gotta listen to Kendrick Lamar because he's trying to give y'all the game. He's trying to tell y'all. You be with a woman that was with you when you didn't have anything. Now, if you're making $250,000 a year and you meet a girl and you tell her how much you make and all that, that's your fault if you get played. But typically, you get with a woman that knew where you started from and she's helping you get to where you want to be. And sometimes women make more than the man. And you worried about her taking half of what you got? That's not the way courts work. If you don't have shit, they're not going to take it from you. They're gonna be right on this one. If she's making way more than you, they're not gonna take your money. Come on, guys. They'll be taking her money. So it ain't just you winning and or losing at the end. Women can lose at the end too. So all I'm saying, guys, is if you don't want to be married, don't bash the union that other people love being in because they love each other. Don't bash them because you don't want to do it. You don't want to take the leap. You don't have to. Like I said, I remember a guy, I forgot his name. He said living the single life was amazing until he got sick. And when he got sick, all those women he was pouncing on, not one came to his side. Not one. When they asked him, who can we call? He didn't have anybody because he was living the single life. All those people that wanted a relationship with him, he dissed them. They then went on and married somebody else. And here he is on his sick bed and didn't have one hoe to call. Not one 304. Not one city girl. Not one person came. And he knew then that he was doing it all wrong. So when you actually go through something like that by yourself and all those party and single parties you were going to, hey, getting your freak on, where are they at now? Hey, open mind. I'm with you on that. Open-minded skeptic said, never tell a woman how much you make when dating. Exactly. You're getting to know the woman. Some men will even say, you know what? I'm trying to own my own business. I'm saving money. You know, I'm budgeting right now. That'll tell you about the woman. You might have 100,000 in the bank, but she don't know that. She ain't got to know that. Tell her that you're just starting out. I just got a degree and I'm trying to start a business. So right now I'm budgeting. Well, what kind of business? Well, I know a few people I can put you in. That's going to tell you what kind of woman you got. Some men might even say, I'm not trying to spend that much money because I'm trying to save to get a house. To see where the woman is at. Well, you know what? I've been saving for a house too. See what I'm saying? Find someone that is equally yoked to you. You feel me? It's not hard to do that, fellas. And then eventually, you'll know if she's the one that you want to marry. I'm not telling you to test every woman you get with, but it ain't going to hurt to test her just a little bit at the beginning. You don't know her, right? Everybody wants to be married. And nobody wants to be a girlfriend or a boyfriend forever. We did that shit in high school. Oh, he's my girlfriend. Or she's my girlfriend. He's my boyfriend. That was so cute and lovey-dovey in high school, guys. But then you have to throw away those childish things. That relationship has to lead to something. If you don't want to be married, then what's the point of a relationship? What's the goal? To keep fucking forever? The guy also said, I'm doing all this just to be stuck with the same box. Women feel that way too. I'm doing all this just to be stuck with the same dick. But when you love someone, it's deeper than just dick and pussy. It's deeper than that. Dick and pussy comes and goes. It really does. Literally comes and goes. You might want that new thrill, but when that thrill, it's like crack. When it wears off, then what? You're going to have to keep hopping to the next dick or to the next pussy, right? Until you get hit with something, right? That's the life you want? I'm not saying rush into it. Take your time. But what I'm saying is don't be scared to take that leap of faith, because you're only going to do it with someone that you truly love. But if you don't want to be married, women and men out here, don't create bastard kids. It's not fair. If you don't want to be stuck with them for 18 years, I don't want to hear shit about a marriage contract if you have bastard kids out there. Anyone listening, if you got a whole bunch of kids out there, one or two, with the woman you or a man you didn't marry, you ain't got shit to say about marriage. That's where I'm going to leave it at. Because you really can't say anything. You can't. You're stuck already. Good luck. All the videos I show y'all in paternity court of these motherfuckers going to prison, having to put tissue in their asshole so they won't get raped. That ain't gonna stop these big guys that's in there for life. They will still tear your ass up. And you in there for child support, not for marriage, for child support. Take your license, give you a felony. You're right. That's a better life than getting married. You're right. Yeah, that sounds a lot better. Felony for unpaid child support, being somebody's bitch in cell block D, that sounds a lot better than getting married. You're right, fellas. Come on, listen to how that sounds. Don't sound so good, right? Because I definitely wouldn't want to pay no bitch for 18 years if I didn't want to fuck with her like that. So you didn't want to marry her, but you didn't mind nutting in her. You're right. That is better. Be stuck with her for 18 years, afraid yelling at you, saying you ain't shit, you a deadbeat dad, pay up every court appearance to try to increase child support whenever you get a raise at work. She hears you got married, so now y'all got a 2-person income. Now she gonna run back to court to get an increase. That's what happens when you're not married. And you're telling me that life is better? All I'm saying, people, is marriage is not a scam. It is not a scam. It's between two people who love each other. People been marrying for decades. This is nothing new. Just because your parents didn't get married or they told you it was bad, don't let them change your outlook on being happy with one person. Because when you're truly happy with that one person, you're not thinking, oh, I'm stuck with this same pussy. You're not thinking like that. You're not thinking like that at all. It's deeper than that. The love you have is deeper. Y'all one soul, one heartbeat. You're not bored about, oh, I have to be with the same one. That's not what real people are thinking. That's what dummies are thinking. Okay, so KA said the guy I'm dating thinks it's no use for marriage to show he loves someone. And I tried to explain to him it's not. He asked if it's all that, why mine didn't last. You know what? You have marriages that don't last. I don't think that every marriage that doesn't last is a failed marriage. I don't. People do find love a second time. Y'all remember Young Jeezy? Young Jeezy married that girl who was married for 11 years before Young Jeezy. She was married to him for 11 years. I forgot her name. Jenny Mai. Is that her name? Or Jenny Jenkins, whatever her name is. She was married to her white husband for 11 years, and they didn't have no kids. They get a divorce, and a year later, she meets Young Jeezy. They hit it off. They get married, and they produce a kid. Her first kid. I wouldn't say her first marriage was a failed one. It taught her a lot because then she was able to take a break and then remarry again and actually have a kid. So when she left that first marriage, she didn't leave with a kid. They divorced and she moved on. He moved on. He moved on and got with another woman and got married. She went and got with Young Jeezy and got married. So people do find love a second time. It's not a failed marriage if you put time into it. If somebody said, yeah, I was married for 1 week and it didn't work, yeah, okay, come on, guys. But if someone says I was married and with that person for 10 years, that means that they worked on their issues and they tried and it didn't work. At least you tried, right? You got a lot out of that marriage. I'm sure in a decade, you get a lot out of that relationship. What not to do in your second marriage, if there is one. And your second one should be solid because now you know what to look for. Now you know how to move. Now you know how to act. So I would think if you got married again, you would be a lot more visual, looking for things, making sure that everything lines up, right? Jenny Mai, thank you, Angel. All I'm saying is, like, okay, you're Steve Harvey. He's married a third time. I would be worried about why his first two didn't work out, but we know why his second one didn't. Because the third wife, he was fucking when he was with the second one. So we already know why that didn't work for him. Steve Harvey was a fucking hoe, and he probably still is. That's all. To be married 3 times, that means you're the problem. Then you have Kim Kardashian. If you look at all the guys she was married to, it wasn't that long. Her longest marriage was Kanye, right? Chris Humphries, what was it, 2 hours? I don't remember. Her other marriages were quick. Chris Humphries, his was quicker. Then she gets with Kanye and puts in 7 years? I was actually shocked by the time. She gave him 7 years. So that means that her first 2 failed marriages, because they weren't that long, taught her a little bit. Then she gets married to Kanye. And they go past the 5-year mark. They always say if you can get past 5 years of marriage, most likely you'll be okay. That's what they say. But her and Kanye didn't work out. And she's hoping that the 4th marriage is a charm. Well, we all know Kim is the problem. Because that was Kanye's first marriage. And I know he probably didn't believe in divorce. But what can you do when your wife is pouncing on another dick? You got to move on, right? Okay, what I would say is since you've been married before, he sees that your first marriage didn't work out. I would suggest if you think about, I really want to marry this guy, get marriage counseling first. That's what people don't do. Get marriage counseling first. Or I'm sorry, not marriage. Get couples counseling first to make sure you guys are on the same track. That way, any fears that he has, they can address that and help kind of relieve what he's going through. He could be worried. He could have went through something in his life or seen somebody go through it, right? All I'm saying, guys, is don't be scared of love. Don't be scared of love. Please don't. Don't let nobody scare you. All these women out here are not bad. Not every woman out here is a bad apple. Not every man out here is a bad apple. It is hard to find a good person. I do agree with that. But that person is out there. You're not going to find them at the club. You're not going to find them at the Freaknik. You're not going to find them at the Hoedown or the Mardi Gras in Louisiana. You might find them at church. You might find them at the gym. You might find them at the park reading a book, Starbucks. You also got to think of the locations that you're going to. You might even find them at the grocery store, right? The frozen food aisle. I'm just saying, it happens. But don't be afraid of it. So let me see what else y'all said in the comments. Like I said, nobody's really spending money again on weddings like that. Back in the day, everybody wanted you to spend what, $100,000? You ain't gonna be able to afford no Gucci Mane wedding. A lot of people don't have no money like that. But a lot of women these days are okay with going to the courthouse. They don't need no big wedding. I didn't have a big wedding. I told everybody what I did. When my mom and all my family basically passed away, I didn't want no wedding where there was only like 20 of my family members on one side and 300 of my husband's. Because then it wouldn't have been no fun wedding for me. I probably would have broke down. It would have been like more like a funeral. So a lot of people do have their own beliefs. I didn't want the big wedding. I didn't need it. Why? Fuck all those people. It's about me and you. We can get married outside. It's only between 2 people, y'all. Y'all ain't got to impress none of these people. They don't like y'all anyway. People don't like you anyway. They hate on your relationship anyway. When people hear that you want to be single, they're like, yeah, be single. But they laughing at your ass. Are you single because nobody wants your ass? That's what they're saying behind closed doors. Trust me. All I'm saying is you got a lot of people that really do want to get married, but they spread this false rhetoric to make you think that that's what life is about. Marriage is a big scam. I think child support is a big scam because more men pay child support and they're not even married. But if you marry that woman and have kids, now you guys can go to family court. And now you get 50-50 custody because you were both married and both supporting the kids. She can't say, well, he's with his new bitch. They're staying in an apartment. She smokes weed. You see what I'm saying? They can't lie like that on you when you guys were married at one point. Well, Miss Jones, you and Mr. Jones were married for 5 years. Mr. Jones took care of his kids. There hasn't been one complaint. So this false rhetoric you're spreading, we don't believe it, ma'am. What we do believe is that these kids deserve both of you guys. So we're going to give you 50-50 custody. No child support is needed in this case because you both provided for these kids. So during your 50% of your time, you do what you want. He does what he wants. Bam. That's where it's at. That's what happens when you're married. You don't have to go chasing nobody, getting screenshots, proving to them that you were a good dad or good mom. They have the proof. You guys were married. Can't put your husband on child support. That's the funniest shit in the world. You can. And most of your men are the ones that are taking care of the household. So when it comes to a divorce, 6 times out of 10, the woman has nowhere to go but with her sister, right? But the man is already established. So who do you think the judge is going to give the kids to until the mom gets on her feet? The dad. So you see, there are benefits. There are benefits, y'all. Y'all just hear the bad stuff. That's like saying I don't want to go to school because I don't want them to take money out of my check for not paying my loans. You're already talking about something that hasn't happened. That's what you guys are doing. I don't want her to take half my money. So you think you're going to marry a bitter woman that's angry? Who would marry somebody like that? We can't think the worst. If you're thinking the worst about somebody, then you shouldn't marry them. So all I'm saying, guys, is I did this show because I saw that TikTok. It was sent to me by a few people, and it really upset me how that's how our black men are thinking. Black men shouldn't be thinking that marriage is a scam, especially if you've already nutted in a couple of women that you didn't even marry. That's a scam. Why would you do that? How can you trust somebody with your raw dick that you don't even know, that you don't want to be married to, that you don't want to be in a relationship with, but you'll give her your fucking seed so she can have a baby and you're stuck with her for 18 years, 18 plus years. That's what you want? That sounds a lot better than getting married? Okay, then keep doing that, fellas. Keep paying that child support. Keep going to prison. Keep doing that. That's a better life. You're so right, fellas. Going to prison and having unpaid child support on your record, felony for unpaid child support when you're trying to get a good job. You're right. That's a better life than getting married to a woman. Do you, fellas? Like I said, if you don't trust her, let me see. Marriage is a scam. It's a business contract where a woman can break her vows and get paid for it. Tom, let me ask you a question. Have you been married, Tom? Tom, have you been married before? Since this is what you want to say, Tom said marriage is a scam. It's a business contract where a woman can break her vows and get paid for it. How, Tom? Because if you're with a woman that you don't trust because you think she's going to break her vows, you can establish rules when you get married. It doesn't have to just be you can have a prenup and it can have stipulations. If she cheats, she gets nothing. If we don't get along with each other and we both move on and we just want to get a divorce, we leave with what we came into marriage with. Tom, you can do that. So you just sound angry right now, Tom. Sorry. There's too many things you can do to prevent that from happening. So when people yell at me, it is a contract. Well, then, Tom, what is child support? What is child support, Tom? So when it comes to child support, you don't sign a contract with the government. You ain't got to go to court. If you can go to prison for unpaid child support, sounds to me like a contract, Tom. But more men are nutting in women than they're getting married. So you tell me what's the scam, sir? Like I said, don't come on this panel talking shit and then you hide your hand. Don't tell me it's a scam, but you're not telling me why. Because if a woman breaks her vows and doesn't follow what she was supposed to do, that man can divorce her and prove that she cheated and she won't get shit. I don't know what kind of rules he's talking about, but I know women who cheated in their marriage. I know a couple where she cheated on her husband with his brother. She got nothing. He got the kids, full custody. See, when you back in the day, if you cheated in a marriage, it was a crime. It was a misdemeanor. In some states, they still do that. In some states, if you cheat on your spouse, it's a misdemeanor, y'all. So clearly, they take the shit seriously. So don't say a woman can just break her vows and there's no penalty. That's a fucking lie. It is a fucking lie. If a man can prove in court that she had an affair, you mean to tell me the judge is going to say, oh, poor thing, she just wanted some new dick. You still get all the money. No, it don't happen like that, Tom. You're just scared, man. It's okay to be scared. It is perfectly okay to be scared, but don't try to hide it with some bullshit. Please don't. Don't do that here. I don't play that shit. Slickman said child support is a much more, wait, I get what you're saying. It's more of a contract because it has dangers. Exactly, Slickman. Never heard of somebody saying that when you get married, if you cheat on her. Now, mind you, if it was the fact that if a man got married and he cheated, he'll go to prison, then I say, well, yeah, it's equal to child support, but it's not. I said some states used to put a misdemeanor on someone if they cheated in a marriage. I'm not saying they're doing that now. But still, that's less than getting a felony for unpaid child support. In Arizona, if you are 5,000 or more in errors of child support, they coming to get your ass. They had a big task force in Arizona where if you owed 5,000 or more in back child support, you had cops at your door. They were just dragging men out and taking them to jail. How do you want to settle this debt? Oh, you can't? So you have to serve some prison time. Now that time that you're in prison, your child support is still accumulating. So you owed 5,000 when they came and got your ass, but now you owe more. See what I'm saying? So don't sit here and say that marriage is worse, because it's not. So what I'm saying, guys, is what you guys need to realize is that it's not scary. It's not what everybody is saying it is. We all know somebody. We all know somebody that is married. We all do. We all do. And they're doing just fine. And if you guys both are not on the same page, you can both get a divorce and leave with what y'all came with, which is probably nothing. So yeah, El Negro, yeah. No fault divorce. They do that out here in Illinois. And they do that in a lot of states. So to y'all who don't know what a no fault divorce is, it allows couples to end their marriage without airing their dirty laundry in court. Nobody's at fault. So when people say, well, she's gonna take half, you can do an at fault divorce. No fault. You could do that. Y'all can't say anything about each other. You guys both will leave with what you came with, which is most likely nothing. You're coming in with what you had. She's not taking nothing. He's not taking nothing. You guys are both going your separate ways. Exactly, sick man. Like I said, I showed you guys that video of that man who went to prison over a kid that wasn't his. The kid wasn't even his. He wasn't married to that woman either. Y'all forgot that part. He wasn't married to her. But he did 5 years in prison for unpaid child support. They even have a database in Illinois where you can look up people's names and see if they owe child support. Y'all worried about a contract. Y'all worried about a marriage contract when someone can find you online and say, nigga, you a piece of shit. You talking about you got to pay for a wedding and you owe 21,000 in back child support. So most of y'all can't even talk. Most of y'all owe back child support right fucking now. So every time they take money out of your check, they take the current child support and they take a percentage of the back child support because they can't make you go broke where you can't live now. But that's what's going to happen until you satisfy that back child support. But it's not going to stop the current. They're taking your tax returns. Any bonuses you get, they taking that. How is that a better life than getting married to someone? That's all I'm saying, fellas. I don't want to hear that it's a scam. Child support to me is worse. So unless you are a single man with no kids, I don't want to hear it. Because you got people like me that are thriving in their marriage. We're out doing a lot of people that we grew up with. Marriages are making a comeback where people are actually fighting for their marriage and staying together, right? Y'all remember when Beyonce and Jay-Z had their issues? That man cheated on her many times. And they've been together over 2 decades, 20 years. They've been together for a very long time, since 2001, from what everyone's saying. They've been together since 2001. We're in 2022. So they've been together over 20 years. And he cheated. Do you honestly think Beyonce couldn't walk away and still survive? We're talking about 2 millionaires. Well, he's a billionaire. Together, they're a billionaire. But Beyonce got a bag, a huge bag. She didn't really need Jay-Z, and he don't need her. They could have easily walked away from their marriage, but they stuck it out, didn't they? So, like I said, you got some people that they actually believe in working shit out because nobody's perfect. And some women will say, well, I didn't leave him because he did that one thing wrong when he did 1,000 things right. He's still human, right? So all I'm saying is it's not a scam. It's not. You're just scared as fuck. Just say that. And that's why I tell men, if you're scared to get married, just say you want to be single forever. You want to die single. Cool. Because the men I know, they don't want to die alone. Y'all might want to die alone, but I know men right now that will admit, I don't want to die alone and unloved. I don't. That's not a good feeling to die by yourself. Maybe a lot of y'all don't mind that, but you're fucking lying. Even these millionaires who can't even date because they're scared that the woman wants their money. They got to pay to have bitches come to their house because they don't want to be alone. If y'all watch Mayweather, there was a point where one day he had about 10 women in the room shaking their ass. And he was just in the middle of the room sitting there. He was alone. Even though he had all these bitches around, he was alone. Some of y'all get where I'm going with this. He wasn't happy. He was alone. How many of those women would have came if he wasn't a millionaire? Exactly. So if you can't think of how many women that you can call right now, if you're single right now and you're just fucking different bitches, call one of them women and say that you got hurt and you need somebody to wipe your ass. I guarantee you, she ain't coming. That's why people get married. Because the woman that loves you will wipe your ass. Like I told y'all, my mom and dad, my mom actually got hurt. My mom was paralyzed from the neck down. If anybody knows what that means, being a paraplegic, Christopher Reeves. Everybody remember Superman, right? Fell off the horse, broke his neck, was paralyzed from the neck down. He couldn't move anything. That's how my mother was. My dad never cheated one time. My dad was right there by her bedside every fucking day until she died. That's love. Most men now, or women now, if it had been a man in that position, the woman would have been out there fucking niggas. Because he can't, right? Because he can't do it. You don't have that love anymore. The love that my dad had for my mom, that love is hard to find. I get that. But that's how much my dad loved my mom. He was right there by her side every day. Allowed her hospital bed to be in our house. And he would work 12 hours, come home, take care of her until we got up to take the ring. Red eyes, tired, never complained. That was love. He was right there with my mom every single day. That's a good man. And Christopher Reeves, the woman that he had in his life, was there for him every day, wiping his ass. We talking about Superman, wiping his ass, getting the shit out of his ass, giving him his meds. He was no longer Superman. He couldn't walk and jump and do all that fun stuff. He was bedridden until he died. So if you can't tell me that a woman can do that for you if you were sick, then you don't need to be with her. That's the difference, you guys. If you don't believe in love because you've been around some bullshit, then say that. But don't shit on people that really do love each other, right? It is. El Negro, that's right. Times are hard because nobody's going to stick around with you unless you got money, unless you have a benefit to them. So if you got a woman that's there for you, she hears your stomach growling and gives you half of her food. Kendrick Lamar said that he was starving. He gave his girlfriend who was his girlfriend at the time, not wife, but he gave her all the food he had. And you can literally hear his stomach growling for food. And she still gave him half. He said that's when he knew that he was going to marry his wife. And they're married today. See what I'm saying, guys? You know. You just know. You know. You know. That's all I'm saying. Because a woman that didn't care would have ate that food, even though she heard her stomach yelling for food, right? Lori.
Hey,
Hey, go ahead, hon.
what I was gonna say, it's funny because you just brought up the situation about like even in the environment that you grow up in.
Mm-hmm.
I watched my mom be in a very unhappy marriage. She's still with my stepdad, and they're not happy. I love my stepdad. He raised me, but she's been very unhappy. You know, she's not a very happy woman either. But regardless, my husband was married before. One time before, he was with his college sweetheart. They didn't have any kids. She was having an affair. He knew. He caught her. They had a house. They both had a car. They both had good jobs. He still wanted to work it out with her. They were in counseling and she continued to have the affair. And it was only then that he said, "Why are we doing this? Why are we going to counseling? If Do you want to be with me or not?" And then that's when but my husband still tried to work it out with his first wife, and he was fucking devastated. Years later, I move back to Michigan, and my cousin introduced me to him, and we just clicked. He never thought he'd get married again, and he wanted kids, and he didn't have any kids with her, and I didn't have a kid, and we have our daughter together, and so it can happen. And just like you said, who did you bring up earlier that was married before for 11 years, and then it didn't work out? It was the same with my husband and his first wife.
Wow.
And he's like, "What? Just tell me if you don't want to." He fought for his first marriage, but she just kept having an affair. But yeah, he was devastated. I mean, he basically gave up the house, gave up all of it for a while there, and even went back to school and moved in with his parents. This was when he was like in his 20s. And then late 20s, I moved back to Michigan. He's only 3 years older than me. I'm 39. We've been together, married 11, together 12. And it worked out though. Like I said, because we each didn't have a kid. We were looking. He was married, or he was dating girls too that had kids. But in the back of his mind, what he was really hoping for was to meet someone that didn't have kids who wanted to remarry one day. So it's possible.
Well, thank you. I just want to say thank you for sharing that.
No problem.
Thank you. And it's always good hearing from you. I'm glad that you came on tonight. And I know
Okay.
this was a late show that I did, but I had to do it. It was on my heart. So thank you for showing up. Okay.
Thank you. And I'm glad you shared this.
Okay. No problem. So,
right.
Have a good night, hon.
You
So,
too.
Lenora said, "My mom is half paralyzed. I take care of her full time. I know I'll do the same for my man." You know what? You do have a lot of women that are compassionate like you, Lenora. Because I took care of my mother. It wasn't just me. I had two others. I have three other siblings who did it too. We had to be there for my mom too. And she only lived a couple years. Most of your quadriplegics, they don't live that long. They give a woman 5 years, men get 10 years. Christopher Reeves lived for 10 years. My mom only lived for 2. So, what I'm saying is I witnessed my dad show her the love that I know that doesn't exist today. That same love. If a man was to get hurt that was spending money on women all the time, none of those women will be there for him. Now, I know this is kind of far-fetched, but I know you guys seen Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Tyler Perry movie. Y'all remember when he put his wife out? Get out. He was having an affair with that light-skinned, the Spanish girl. I don't know if she was Spanish or was she light-skinned? I don't remember. But he dragged her out of the house on their anniversary, right? Kicked her out of the house. She had no money saved because he took care of everything. They were married for 11 years. She had a bunch of miscarriages. They didn't have any kids. All the while, he was sleeping around with another woman and had a son, right? So he puts her out the house, embarrasses her, belittles her, and she has to get her life back. He's a lawyer, a shady one, and ends up fucking with the wrong dude and ends up getting shot and paralyzed. Now, when he got shot and paralyzed, the woman left, the one that he cheated on his wife with. She dipped out, took his money, cleaned his bank account out. Guess who came back to take care of his bum ass? The ex-wife. But she made him suffer a little bit, not in a bad way, but she wanted to get even, to show him that I was there for you when you had nothing and you cheated on me. And now look, your bitch ran off with all your money. That usually happens. That's usually how it happens. See, he thought the grass was greener, but it wasn't until he got hurt. Sometimes you don't know who's by your side until you lose all your money or you get hurt. That's when you know who really loves you. That's why I told men, if you don't really trust this woman because you have trust issues, test her a little bit. Tell her you lost your job. Tell her you lost your job and you need help. If she says, well, do you expect me to do? Then you know that's not the one. I know a lot of people might say it's wrong to test somebody. I don't think it's wrong. I don't. If you are the one that's stable and you have all your shit together, you ain't got no kids out there, and you're dating a woman that might have a kid or wants the future or wants all this stuff to happen, it's okay to make sure she's the right one. I don't see nothing wrong with testing her. I don't. And I'm not saying a big test where we have to leave, out of this apartment or we're going to get evicted. Nothing stupid like that. But tell her you lost your job. Tell her you don't have the money you thought you had. And see how she acts. Tell her you need her help with something serious. See how she acts. That will tell you all you need to know. Because you don't want to find that out after you marry her. Some people, it takes a little bit to uncover. That's why you might want to throw a test or two in there. All I'm saying is, it's fun to be single, but your age, you're not going to be that age forever. Every day you're getting older. Every day you're dying a little bit, is what they say. So if you want to live that life of partying and drinking, when it finally catches up with your ass and you need a lung or you need a spleen or a kidney, you going to call one of them women you met at the club? They're going to come and give you one? No, they're not. But that woman that you married, that's been by your side for 10, 15 years, she's more likely to give you her kidney than that hoe you met at the club. That's all I'm saying. See, a lot of people want women they can sleep in bed with, but a real man wants a woman he can wake up to. That's just keeping it real. And a woman too. She wants a man she can wake up to, not a man that she's sleeping in bed with, and then you call him the Uber and he's leaving. On to the next man. That's only fun for how long before it expires? You get old. That life starts to catch up with you, right? It always happens. Then when you're old and wrinkly, it's going to be too late because all those people you dissed, they already married and happy. Now you alone. Now you the cat man or the cat lady, right? So all I'm saying is, guys, if you're scared of marriage because you witnessed something, let's talk about it. Reach out to me on Instagram. But marriage is not a scam. It's not. I am thankful to be married to someone that has my back. I don't have to worry about, going to bed alone. If somebody tries to break in, I'm not alone in this journey. I got somebody that's going to help me. If I get sick, I got somebody that's going to take care of me. That's a good feeling. If I lost all my money tonight, I got somebody that's going to be right there with me to help me recoup all the money back. That's the difference from being married or not. Somebody that has your back. Because nowadays, you don't know. When COVID hit, a lot of people got sick, lost all their bodily functions. Guess how many relationships lasted? Not many. He was my cute, handsome boyfriend when we met at the club. Now he got COVID and he's in the ICU. What am I supposed to do? We're not even married. While he was fighting for his life, she out there bouncing on different dicks. You had that happening, guys. When COVID hit and people that were healthy, doing the butterfly and the snake, oh yeah, clubbing and all that. Now COVID hit and they on the ICU. It was that fast, y'all. And all those hoes that they had, them hoes were not at the hospital. So COVID also exposed a lot of people that were only there temporary. That's all I'm saying. So all I'm saying, fellas and ladies, is don't be scared of marriage. It's not a scam. It is not a scam. People only say that because they're scared. You don't have to spend $50,000 on a wedding. That is bogus. No one even has that these days. Let's keep it real. Let's stop acting like you got all this money in the bank when you know you fucking don't. We know you don't. Most of you guys are only making the bare minimum when it comes to salary. So you already know you can't afford no extravagant getaway. So let's come down to reality here. Most of your marriages are in a courthouse, or they do the backyard wedding because they're on a budget. And that's okay. Stop spending all this money to impress these people you don't even fuck with on a daily. Most people have weddings so they can shit on them. Women want that big wedding so they can shit on Tanika and all those other women that they hate. Why? When you can save that money and buy land and buy property. See the difference? Why spend all that money on a stupid ass wedding? We already married. Because you know you go to the courthouse anyway to get the license done. People used to think that you just got married and I do, and that was it. No. They already did the license, so it's already done. You really don't need the wedding now. Right? I'm just being logical here. People that I know that spent less than a couple thousand on a wedding, they're still together today. They are. I mean, Jay-Z and Beyonce are damn near billionaires, and they had a low-level wedding too. They didn't have no big, extravagant 10-page paper wedding. They didn't, and they're rich because some people really don't give a fuck about that. We're already married. Why do we need to impress these people we don't even fuck with, right? So all I'm saying, guys, is please don't be scared of marriage because a couple of TikToks. You guys are worth having someone that loves you, be in your corner. I witnessed the love in HD. I got to see my dad love my mother to the end. I know now if another man was in that position, I don't think he would have stayed faithful to his wife. If you got a wife that can't move anything from the neck down, you're going to go to work, all right, but then you also going to get some pussy on the side. That's just in some people's nature. My dad didn't do that. My dad worked from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. or 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. It depended. It depended on what shift he took. But he was always home within half an hour. We knew his time. He never went past that time. And this was back in the day. We talking about 2002. So like I said, my dad was a faithful man to the end. So all I'm saying is you got a lot of men and women out there that would love you like that to your last breath. And they're out there, but you're not going to find them at the freak dick. You might have to do something and step outside the box. But fellas, don't be scared of being married. There's a woman that wants to take care of you and treat you like the king that you are. And ladies, there's a man out there wanting to treat you like the queen that you are. They're out there. So like I said, guys, if you're really that scared of marriage, reach out to me on Instagram because it's one of the greatest things I've done in my life. And I'm happy. In just 48 hours, I'll be celebrating 12 years with my husband. 12 years. I'm not 50 years old. I'm in my 30s. I'm just in my 30s. So ladies, know that. And men, know that if you meet somebody who has been married before, they just got experience. Being married once and trying to do it again, it's okay. Don't sit there and make yourself seem like a failure. If that marriage lasted for a few years or some time, then you learn something out of there. People do grow apart. And ladies and men, you don't have to accept somebody that's cheating. If you've tried to get the counseling, you can leave. You can leave the minute they cheat. You can leave. You don't have to stick around. But some people do stick around because they don't judge their spouse off of that one mistake. When they've done 50 great things and that one bad thing, they don't judge them off of that one bad thing. Now, if you got a man that or a woman that cheated and gave you a disease and then they prevented you from having kids, oh yeah, that's worse. Then yeah, you gotta get out. Counseling ain't gonna help that. But if you got a man or a woman that made a mistake, and you say, you know what, they made a mistake, we got counseling, they changed. That's probably what happened with Beyonce and Jay-Z because he had cheated on her more than that one time. His music told all the tea. They just never came out and said it. And women were like, ugh, you're staying with that ugly man? Beyonce, you can have any man you want. But we're not there, y'all. We're not in their household. When you've been with someone for 20 years, you don't just walk away from one mistake. You don't. A lot of women don't. Beyonce is one of those women that has that love where she just don't walk away that easy. Because I'm sure if she walked away, she wouldn't have been broke. She has plenty of money, y'all. So what I'm saying, guys, is at the end of the day, don't be afraid of marriage because people are telling you it's a scam. Come to your own conclusion. That's like me telling you don't go to this restaurant because they got bad food. But you'll say, well, you thought the food was bad. I know people that thought the food was good. See what I'm saying? Y'all would believe people saying marriage is a scam off of a couple of videos. But I bet you won't believe somebody if they told you a restaurant was bad. Don't go to that restaurant. They got bad food. But if you knew 50 people that went there and the food was great, that's just their experience. Live your own life. Quit letting people scare you into you trying something new. Oh, don't go to Hawaii. It's whack. It's stupid. Well, won't you experience Hawaii and see if that's the truth? Because if we only live by people's reviews on what they think it is, we'll never live. We will never live. So when people say marriage is a scam, have you been married? No, but I know it's a scam. How the fuck you know it's a scam and you ain't even been married? Maybe that's why you're not married because you are a scam. Period. Come to your own conclusion is what I'm saying, people. I'm thankful to be married to a strong black man. I was also in a relationship where I was abused by a black man, but that didn't stop me from loving my black men because of that one black man. See what I'm saying? He's only one guy that did that to me, not a 50,000 guys. So we can't keep basing something that happened on us and saying that's what's going to happen. You got to take a leap of faith. And if you're in a relationship and he's telling you, I don't want to be married, then you might need to go and be with somebody else. That's all I'm saying. Find your happiness, ladies and men. Find your own happiness. And if you got somebody that does want to be married, get counseling before you do it to make sure, because they will tell you some things that you didn't know about each other. Then that would help you determine if you want to be with this person. But if you know in your mind, in your heart, that if you didn't have one penny and that person will still love you the same, please marry them. That's what you need in your life. But if you know if you had no money left, they would leave, don't marry them. It's that simple. And if you do get married to someone and you can see yourself being a millionaire when you get married, then you can always change how you want things to happen if you get a divorce. It's a legal contract that you can put in place that you both would have to sign. If I make it big and you cheat, you get nothing. If I make it big and we both decide to go on our own separate ways, I'll give you $5,000. You can put those rules in there, guys. You don't have to just get married and go through a woman taking half. All I'm saying is you can make the rules. But most men and women that I know don't even need the rules because they know who the fuck they are marrying. They're not marrying some stranger. All I'm saying is give it a try, you guys. It won't hurt you. And if you're a man right now paying child support and you're dealing with a woman that you have to always deal with, her yelling at you, telling you you ain't shit, I feel for you, man. That's the contract I know many men would want. That contract comes with loud and bitter anger, and it comes with all that. Who would want that contract? That contract also comes with a penalty too. I know there's men out here that are terrified that they might lose their job if they do something wrong. So they got to kiss their boss's ass every day because they pay child support. It comes right out of their check. They can't run from that. They hate their boss, but they can't quit. Because if you quit a job, the child support will still accumulate. That's the contract I would never want in my life. When COVID hit, a lot of people lost their jobs that were paying child support. And remember when that first stimulus came out, it went straight to the moms or the dads, whoever was getting child support. So that first stimulus, if that man lost his job, he didn't even see it. That's how much they care about y'all. And y'all think marriage is worse? Come on. They took their first stimulus and it went straight to women or men who were receiving child support. So while they got about, $6,000, $7,000, you got nothing. Not only did they get a stimulus per kid and for themselves, they got your shit too. That to me is a scam. So come on, y'all. I'm not talking to myself here. If you really don't trust this woman, put some stipulations in that contract. But most men I know don't need it because they know who they're marrying. But if you're still a little uneasy, do that. And if she says, I don't mind signing that because I'm not going to cheat on you and I'm not going to hurt you. But I know if I did, you can kick me to the curb and I got to walk away with nothing but this wig on my head. Hey, how you going to lose, fellas? Now, when you put that in place, what do you got to say about marriage? It's still a scam because you can't put stipulations on child support. Well, if I don't like my job, I can leave the job and you have to stop taking child support payments until I find a new one. Oh, no, there is no amendment to that. It is what it is, fellas. If I go a bunch of months without paying child support, you cannot lock me up. Put that in the rule. Nope. That's the only contract you can't amend or fix. Only the judge can. You have absolutely no control. They can increase that shit or decrease the shit if you get a job that pays less. But they will never let you make the decision. They make the rules. They're in control of your money. So, fellas, I want you to remember this. If you don't want to get married to her, do not have kids with her, because that contract that you're going to get, you will have no control over it. You will be a slave to the court systems for 18 years of your life if you live that long. I'm just keeping it 1,000 with you. So you tell me what's worse, a child support contract or a marriage contract? Which one would you rather take? The red pill or the blue pill? That's going to be my poll. And I'm going to see what men say. I'm curious, because I thought child support was worse. So, like I said, guys, I want to say, you guys, thank you so much for attending this late show. I had to do it. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you can watch the beginning of the video. I was trying to, when I was panning the camera to my iPad, y'all, because y'all know that I've been having issues with uploading 30-second clips. It won't let me do it. I'm using MP4 and it still won't do it. So this time I said, let me point the camera to my iPad. So that guy you heard talking, he's the one that said that he felt marriage is a scam. So I had to record who it was. So when y'all saw that guy, it was a recording that was on my iPad. It wasn't a man that I had here at the house. Some of y'all crazy, but I just wanted to tell you guys that marriage is wonderful. It really is. It's not bad. It's really amazing knowing that you got somebody that loves you through sickness and health. Because sickness these days, people don't stick around. If it's not benefiting them, they don't need you. You mean you want me to help you take your bedpan and dump? Oh, no. That's not what I do. I thought you wanted me to go with you to the club and spend some more money. That's the kind of women and men you got now. So all I'm saying is, don't be scared of marriage. And if you are scared of marriage, you should be scared to nut in a woman too. That's all I'm saying. And if that doesn't make sense to you, I don't know what will. But like I said, there's a lot of beautiful Black people. And I will have a marriage episode where we will have people that are married come on the panel. Because there's people that follow me that have been married for 30 years. I have older people that follow me too. 30 years. And it doesn't mean that they're both perfect. Every marriage, someone did something. You just don't know about it. Every marriage. No marriage is perfect. Somebody can say, we've been married for 50 years. Those were not 50 perfect years. He saw some ass on Instagram or he saw some ass online. That's cheating too. See, people keep thinking in the marriage that cheating is just physical. It's not. Going to lunch with a coworker and your wife knows nothing about her, that's cheating. Lusting or picturing yourself doing back shots with that coworker, that's cheating. That's cheating too. Sending them a nude of you, that's cheating. It does not have to be just sex. Kissing them on the cheek, that's cheating. So every marriage in this world has went through some form of cheating. It didn't have to be physical because we're not perfect. We're not perfect. The minute you lust over somebody else, that's cheating. Period. That's how easy it is. So nothing is perfect in this world. And if you understand that, everything will work itself out. So all I'm saying, guys, is I hope that I gave you guys some type of clarification and guidance on marriage. It is not a scam. It's not. It's between two people who love each other and that are going to become one soul. She will then have your last name. Some of y'all think y'all family care about y'all. Wait till you guys are on the ICU. You didn't marry the girlfriend that had your back through thick and thin. So when it comes to who's going to pull the plug, the girlfriend has no control. The family does. And they know you got that big life insurance policy. See, think about those things too. Because a lot of people think that their family has their best interest and they really don't. During COVID, a lot of plugs got pulled. And it wasn't the girlfriend making the decision because she wasn't a wife. She would say, no, I want him to fight. I know he can get out of this. And the parents would be like, nope. Family would be like, no, he's a noodle. He ain't going to make it. Pull the plug. It's cheaper to kill him than to spend all this money a day. Right? So you be thinking that your family has your best interest and they really don't either. But if you had a wife, she would have been able to say, y'all can leave the fucking room. I'm in control. And I'm going to keep the machine on. I think he's going to make it. A lot of people have made it through just like that too. Because of who he married. See what I'm saying? So there is a difference, you guys. There is a difference. I'm hoping y'all use your head on this one. But don't be afraid of marriage, y'all. Please don't. And if you're battling child support with a woman you didn't marry, I'm sorry to hear that. But if you were married to her, there wouldn't be no child support. Message. If you were married to her, there would be no child support. A lot of cases, men get married, the woman fucks up, he divorces her, he gets full custody of the kids, she gets a job, and she has to pay because he took care of the kids when she wasn't taking care of the kids. See, you got some women that got to pay too. See, so fellas, it ain't all bad at the end. I'm just saying that love you're looking for is out there. And if you guys still want me to do the dating episode, let me know. Because I do want people to have someone that they really care about. And you might not be ready to go to get into a relationship, but just to have somebody to talk to. Talking helps you too. You ain't always got to fuck everybody. That gets boring. Doesn't that get boring? You don't know what that person got. There are so many diseases being passed with getting your thing sucked or vice versa. There are so many diseases that I would be more scared about than getting married. There's way many. I'm telling you, these diseases are crazy. Just because she got a fat ass don't mean she's clean. I also have men that ask me for resources on how they can go to a clinic where they're not being seen and they ain't gonna see everybody and they can easily get the shot because they out there fucking. So this single life is not really the best life to live when you don't know who you're fucking with. You can wear a condom, but if she's sucking you off, you're not wearing a condom then. I'm sure you're not. You know you can get diseases any kind of way, right? Y'all be thinking, oh, I wear 8 condoms. Okay, so when she gave you head, you wore 8? No. I put it on before? Yeah. So that's probably how you got it. So again, guys, if that single life is what you want, sleeping around and playing Russian roulette, have a great time doing that. That's your lane. But please don't make fun of those who want to be married and happy. Because these people that say they're single, Cat Williams said something big. He said most of those people who scream, I'm single and happy, they go home to that lonely ass cold apartment and cry in the bed because they don't have anyone. Their favorite movie comes on and they're watching it by themselves. They hear something at the door and they got to go check by themselves. That lonely life is not the best life to live sometimes. But if you choose to be lonely for the rest of your life, I wish you the best. But there's people that want someone there with them. It just feels better. My mom didn't die alone. I can tell you that. My mom didn't die by herself. So I definitely know I would want to. So me being married, I'm thankful. I have a good man that loves me, supports me, and has my back. That's my best friend. That's my homie. I love that. That's better than, what did Kanye say? One good girl is better than 1,000 bitches. There's a reason for that metaphor, y'all. One good girl is better than 1,000 bitches. That's what Kanye said. Now, even though he didn't have that one good girl, he pulled a girl out of the 1,000 bitches, and that's what he got. But if he would have had one good woman, he wouldn't have been in the position he's in now. Right? But there's a reason why he said that. He's saying that having a good woman that has your back is better than having a bunch of hoes that only want you for your money. Y'all be thinking y'all dick game is great, and it's not. Your money game is great. They're with you for the money. They don't care about you. What did Jay-Z say? I know I'm ugly, but the money is very cute. That's how it is. So I'm saying, fellas, there are some good women out there. And women, there are some great men out there. But you have to look at where you're looking for these men. Stop looking for them in the clubs and bars. I met my husband playing basketball, just going to the gym on a normal day. That's how I met him. I wasn't dressed up. So what I'm saying is you can meet these women. I actually talked to some great women and great men. I would love to connect all you guys. So if you guys really truly want a dating episode, I told people to email me. I only received like 5 emails. I wanted 10. So if you guys want me to do an episode where I bring you guys together, we could talk to single people that want to be in a relationship. Y'all can give me y'all pictures. I put them in like a slideshow of who you are and then have a show about it so they know who they're talking to. Let's do that. I love to connect people and bring them together. Love is a great thing. I'm just saying, y'all, it's a great feeling. Okay, so Ken said everything is a sacrifice. Relationships are a sacrifice. They are. All I'm saying, guys, is marriage is not a scam. It's a beautiful thing. You can do it. But if you honestly think marriage is a scam, I would love your outlook on child support. Because only one of those you won't have control over. Only one. Which contract would you like to have control over? Because once you nut in a woman and she has your kid, you're stuck. You have no say-so. She has control over your money. Every time you go and break your back at the construction site, or every time you break your back at that warehouse, that check, some of that check will go to her. And every time she gets it, she's laughing at your dumb ass. With her new dude, Pookie. They buying nickel bags with your child support. While you're breaking your back for 18 years, $120,000 is going to the woman that you did not want to marry, but you wanted to have a kid with her. I just don't see the logic behind that. Because if I wasn't going to marry a woman, she ain't getting this dick. That's how I would think if I was a man. But y'all don't think like that. Okay, I'm going to give her the dick and nut in her and let her have my kid, but I'm not going to marry her. Yes, I win. You don't win. You lose. You lose. You lose. So all I'm saying is like James is a mentor. James has no problem letting people know that, hey, I suffer from limb loss. And you got a lot of women that will see that and say, wow, that is a powerful, strong black man. And I want that in my life. He's helping other people that lost a limb. How many women would stick around with a man if he was with them and then he gets hurt, gets in a car accident, and loses a leg? Half of them will leave. Maybe 70% of them will leave. Because they weren't with him for him. They were with him for the money. How many will stick around with you when something different happens to you? Because a lot of y'all think that it's your dick, and it's not. It's really not. It's your money. It's that $40 you keep giving her. It's the money you're giving her to get her nails done. That's why she's there. It has absolutely nothing to do with your dick game. It's your money game. Because once that money's gone, you're nothing to her. You're disposable. That's what I'm saying, fellas. If you're going to be stingy with signing your name on a contract to marry a woman, be stingy with your dick too. Be real stingy with your dick. I'm definitely not going to have no unprotected sex with this woman, no matter how good she looks. Because I don't want to be stuck with her for 18 years. If you got to think like that, think like that. But how many men are thinking like that? Because all the men I talk to, they got at least one kid. And out of the 11 men I talk to currently, only one of them is married. The other 10 are not married, and they all have one kid or more. So when I ask them, why would you give her your seed? Oh, because I wasn't thinking. That's not a good excuse anymore, fellas. You better start thinking. How can you not be thinking at 30? How can you not be thinking at 35? How can you not be thinking at 42 years old? What are y'all thinking about then? Is pussy that good to you where you can't even think logically for a second? And now you're tired of having to hear her voice. You're tired of having to show up to court. You're scared that you might lose your job because you hate your manager and he knows you need that job. He knows you pay child support. You got those kind of bosses that love to control your ass because they know you can't leave. But they can fire you at any moment. And you know, if you get fired, those checks, they're going to still accumulate. Now you owe back child support. Now you're in the hole. Now you get a letter saying that your license is suspended. Now you're getting a letter saying that if you don't make a payment, you're going to have a warrant for your arrest. Now you're getting a letter saying that they're looking for you. Do you see how quick your life can go downhill? Over child support, that is. Not over getting married. If you were married, you wouldn't have to deal with this shit. If you were married to your wife and she made you mad, she can't go to the child support office. They'll laugh at her bitch ass. You have a husband, ma'am. That's not the way child support works. Have a good day. That's the control y'all got, fellas. She can't get mad at you and say, that's it. I'm divorcing you, getting child support. It doesn't happen that easy. No, it's not that easy. You go to court. You have to go to court and deal with the judge first. Why are you divorcing her, ma'am? Oh, because he made me mad. Oh, yeah. They're going to laugh at her ass. That's not enough. So I'm saying, fellas, don't be scared. It's not that bad like people say. It's not. Waiting on that woman. Yes, James. Waiting on that one woman, special woman, is worth the wait. She's out there. Y'all go to James, you go to the gym all the time. I know there's other women that are at the gym too. And sometimes with women, you might see them doing a machine wrong. You might see them using it wrong and you don't want them to hurt themselves. So you come over there and say, hey, ma'am, I just wanted to tell you, you're doing that wrong. You can hurt your back. Oh, really? How do I do it right? Like this. Thank you so much. Are you a trainer? No, I just worked out for a little while. Well, thank you, because I was wondering why my lower back was hurting. What's your name? Oh, my name is blah, blah, blah. Well, my name is blah, blah. Okay, we can finish working out together if you want. Now you just made a friend at the gym. See how that works? Because a lot of women go in there and they use the machines totally wrong. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Ass be all up in the air, doing it wrong. Some of them do it so you can come over there and talk to them. Some do that on purpose. Some do that on purpose, just so you can come over there and get their attention. And if you come over there smooth with it, now you have a gym buddy. And you don't want to get her number right now. You want to wait a second. See if she comes back again. If she's worth it, she'll come back again. Yeah, I usually work out around 5 or 6. Now she knows when you're there. So if she's supposed to begin the next day, now you have a gym buddy. Y'all start off working out, going for like a smoothie or something after you work out. And now you got somebody that's a friend. Now you get to know them. See what I'm saying, guys? It ain't always got to be at the club. Go to Starbucks. You see a woman in the corner doing her homework. You're coming in there with your laptop to do some work, finish up some business. I'm saying, it's not hard, guys. Don't be scared. Ladies, don't be scared. So all I'm saying is don't be afraid of marriage. Be more afraid of nutting in a woman you didn't see a future with. Be more scared of that. And then talk to me. Okay? So guys, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for attending this late show. I'm about to wrap up. I want to give a shout out to James, amputee mentor. He's a very wonderful person. He's a strong Black man. Comes with a lot of knowledge and guidance. Helps out men and women. He does a lot of volunteering at hospitals. When these kids wake up after losing a leg, he's the first face they see, who's giving them advice on how to manage going without a limb. He's a really good person. And I want to give a shout out to Lori. I want to give a shout out to Ken and Angel, Lenora, Hope, Dennis G. Thank you guys so much for attending tonight. This was one of my latest shows, and I usually don't do this, but I wanted to because what that Black man said, it really upset me because I think we're going backwards when we say that. We need more two-parent homes. These kids need to be around a mom and a dad. And you would only nut in a woman that you married. It makes more sense. You get married and then you have a kid. That's how it's supposed to be. But you guys are doing it backwards. You're having a kid and there is never even going to be a marriage because you hate her. So then people say, well, if you hate her, when did you hate her? When you nutted in her? Is that when the hate started? Because you can't keep saying, fellas, that you hate her, but you had kids with her, more than one kid. That's like her saying you ain't shit. Well, why'd you have 3 kids with him? Because at one point you were amazing. There was a disconnect somewhere, right? And had you have taken your time instead of nutting in her, since you knew you didn't want to marry her, maybe you would have caught that crazy streak. See what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, guys. 2-parent households need to come back. There's a lot of Black families that are being destroyed. We need to bring it all back together. We need each other, y'all. These white people, they laugh at us when we do this dumb shit. Like what Nick Cannon's doing. Producing all these kids and may not be alive to see any of them grow up. That's not the life that we want to teach our kids. Because when they grow up, they're going to hate him. They're going to say, so him nutting in you, knowing that he was going to die soon, what was the goal of that? Because now I got to grow up without a dad, without a father figure, without somebody to teach me right from wrong. Come on, fellas, y'all better than that. And women are no good. They're no better than him because he's telling them the contract, having them sign it, and they're still doing it for the money. How can a woman sleep with a man that's telling them, I'm not going to always be here and I may not live that long, but take this nut and have my kid? How can that be the normal, y'all? Please stop doing that. If you're not going to marry her, don't make her a baby mama. Ladies, if you don't want to be married to him, if marriage isn't the goal, then being a baby mama shouldn't be the goal either. That's all I'm saying. Okay? So guys, thank you so much for attending tonight. I love all of you guys. Please check out the website. I do have some new shirts. I do have new merchandise now on the mental health website. I now have backpacks. I have chargers. I have different speakers. I have different things now on the website that you can buy that are not just shirts now. Now you can get backpacks and things like that. So please continue to support if you can. And I will see you guys on the next show. Like I said, wait. He said, "How do you propose this if most black women get kids and most black men don't?" Wait. You said, "How do you propose this if most black women get kids and most black men don't?" What are you talking about? I don't understand what you're saying. You said, "How do you propose this if most black women get kids?" What do you mean What do you mean by most black women get kids? Oh, well, you know what? Most black women got kids by who? Men. Come on, sir. They didn't have them kids by themselves. They needed sperm to produce the kid. Are you talking about robots? Because if a lot of women have kids, that means that men nutted in those women and didn't make them a wife. So ask yourself that, sir. If you meet 10 women and all of them have a kid, that's 10 men that slept with those women and nutted in them, and none of them are married, then you got to blame the men too. So when you're saying most women got kids and men don't, how can those men not have them if the women have kids? Listen to how you sound, sir. A woman can't have a kid without a man, sir. Not the 54%. So if 54% of men don't have kids and the other percentage of women do have kids, again, they had them with a man. It started with a man. You need a man and a woman. Do you want me to explain the birds and the bees, sir? What I'm saying to you is, if you are meeting more women with kids, there was a man who produced that kid with that woman. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You're giving me these percentages. Can you post the links where you got them? Because we can all throw, I can say 90% of women, right? But without no link of a credible site, it means nothing. So one thing that I don't like is when people throw out percentages without the link where I can find the information. And if it says like information.com or some bullshit like that, it's not real. All I'm saying to you is that if there's a lot of women with kids, that means that a lot of men had those women, had those kids with those women. It's equal. That's all I'm saying. Women can't produce a baby by themselves unless they're going to the sperm bank, but that sperm came from a man, right? That's all I'm saying. How many women are going to the sperm banks to have these kids? Not many. What's your percentage on that? Most of them are fucking these men raw and they're producing a bastard baby. That's what I'm saying. Black demographics? Okay, that's your website. All right. All I'm saying, guys, is if you're a man that does not have a kid and the goal for you is to one day be married, then go out there and try to meet different women and talk to them, get to know them. You don't have to sleep with them. Just get to know them. That's all I'm saying. How many mothers does Nick Cannon got? Baby mothers? I think Nick Cannon has 5 baby mamas. And I'm not going to consider Mariah a baby mama. So if we take away 2 of those kids that he had those in a marriage. They weren't bastard babies. So 2 of his kids were produced in when they were married. So we have to eliminate Mariah. She was never his baby mama. She was his fucking wife. She was his wife for about 8 years, I believe. So we can't count Mariah. So if we don't count Mariah, I believe he has 3 or 4 baby mamas. I could be wrong. I know I just did a little study on him. I forgot. And how many mothers do Future got? Future has 9 baby mamas. Why are you asking me all these things? Future has 9 baby mamas. So Future got with those 9 women and nutted in each and every one of those women. Are we not going to blame Future for anything? It's all the women. Future also said that he spends $3 to $4 million a year on these hoes too. One dude, multiple broads, obviously not counting Mariah. Okay, so what I'm saying is, okay, so in Future's case, if he slept with 9 women and produced bastard kids with all 9 of those women, he's equally responsible. He has 9 kids. So if a woman wants to talk to him with no kids, so if Future met a woman at the gym and she had no kids, Future would say, I got 9 by 9 women. Listen to how that sounds. Future is just as guilty as those 9 women because he willingly supplied the nut, knowing that he wasn't going to be in the household. That's all I'm saying. You got to hold both accountable in this instance. I do say I'm more upset with the women, but they're doing it for a check, and Future knows that and doesn't care. If he's spending $3 to $4 million a year on these hoes, that's what he chooses to do. But eventually, Future is going to settle down. I guarantee you. Something's going to happen in his life where he is going to have to settle down. It happens all the time. Men have these good streaks of fucking, and then something happens where they have to settle down. Future is also a rapper. So how many hits you think he'll continue to make as he gets older? It's very hard to make a hit now. All the stuff that he's doing, it's going to get old. My question is, when he stops making the millions, who's going to pay for those 9 kids? Oh, okay, Ken. Well, the thing is, if a man doesn't want to get married because most women have a kid, that's his choice. All I'm saying is don't shit on people who do want to be married. That was the point of my show. If you don't want to be married because you're scared that you might get a woman who, been with another guy who's been with this woman and that one, okay, preference is everything. But you do got a lot of men with no kids that are looking for a woman with no kids, and that is doable. And you also have a man with kids who might meet a woman that ain't got no kids. It just depends on who you're looking for. All I'm saying is, guys, be selective. All I'm saying, fellas, is if you don't want to make her a wife, don't make her a baby mama either. Have the same energy. I don't want to marry this woman, so I'm not going to give her my seed either. Be selective with your seed is all I'm saying. Put a fucking condom on. Don't be like Future Nick Cannon and Chief Keef. You ain't got to be like those guys. You got women like Lori Harvey, who's been in, 9 guys and doesn't have 1 kid. So it's doable, right? All the guys that she messed with, besides Michael B. Jordan, had a kid. She's a great example. That we know of, she hasn't been pregnant. But all those guys that she fucked, half of them had kids. She doesn't have any. So you do got some women who know how to be smart with their coochie too, where they're not going to have no kids. So if you're going to bring up Nick Cannon, let's bring up these women who been with him and didn't have his kid. He was with a rapper. She didn't have his kid. Black China didn't have his kid. So you do got some women that did not have a kid with this man. Not everybody said, I'm going to be the next victim, right? Okay, so I don't believe your stats. I don't believe 80% of Black women have kids. I'm sorry. I think you're kind of jumping the gun with that stat. If you're going to say that, post the link. Because I bet you $1,000 Cash App. I bet you $1,000 Cash App. And you better show me you got it, because I got it. That 80% of Black women do not have kids. That is too high of a percentage. And the reason why I don't believe your stats, I have 2 sisters. None of them have kids, and I don't either. There you go right there. And I know many women that don't have kids. I know a lot with kids, but I know a lot that don't have kids either. I don't believe that 80% stat. Show me 80%, and I give you $1,000 Cash App, because I know that's bullshit. 80% of Black women have kids is a lie. I'm sorry, guys. I don't believe that. I'm not going to believe that. So you're saying that I'm part of a phenomenon. Come on, bro. Really? I would have believed you more if you said like 60%. I don't believe 80 though. That's too high. But I'll let you have it. So guys, like I said, that the only reason why I did this show was to tell you guys that don't be afraid to be married. It's not as bad as you think. And just because somebody might have been married and it didn't work out, it doesn't mean it might work out again. They always say that people find love a second time because you know what not to bring in this relationship. It's no different than being in a relationship and it didn't work. And now you moved on to another one and you knew what not to bring into the new one. It's a learning lesson. Now, if you were only married for 30 days or a year or 2, then I would say that was probably a failed marriage. But if you gave it 5 years or more, you're solid in my book. I ain't got shit to say. And most people can't even give marriage 5 years. So if you can't even give a marriage 5 years, then I would suggest you not get married the second time until you fully know. Get counseling. Please get counseling. So, that's a good question. So how do you dodge women that poke holes in condoms? Bring your own condoms. There you go. I told you guys that on my other show. If you're with a woman and y'all about to have sex, you bring your own condoms that were in your own pocket. Never leave condoms out. If she says, here, I brought one, I got my own. Most men are that smart. Like 50 Cent. 50 Cent said he came with his own condoms and a contract that the woman had to sign. He wanted to make sure you can't get me for sexual assault. You can't get me for nothing. This is a consenting contract that you gave up the pussy. I didn't beg for it. So I'm saying, fellas, if you're with a woman and you're about to get down, bring your own condoms. I don't care if she brings you one that has a box that's sealed. Don't believe it. Bring your own and you won't go wrong. I guarantee you. There's no reason that she could have gotten pregnant if you brought your own condoms. I hope that helps you, sir. Okay, so the link you said you posted is from 2010. I need something that's relevant. 2010 was 12 years ago, sir. So 12 years ago, they said that 80% of women had babies. Black women had babies. I didn't see the link. So if you can send me that link again, looking through it, I don't see it. I don't believe those stats. And I don't believe anyone that took a survey back in 2010 because times have changed. All I'm telling you is I don't have kids. I have two older sisters that don't have kids. Not everybody has kids. Both of my sisters, they're older than me. They both have really wonderful bodies. They don't have kids. So we were taught how to be smart, and not everybody wants kids either. So all I'm saying is you got some people that just don't want them. Nothing against, that person. You said it said 72. So in 2010, 72% of Black women had kids. Okay. It's still not 80%. All I'm saying is show me something from 2019 at least. Something more recent. Times have changed. You don't want to believe it. 80 is not 100%. Well, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I said what I said. Again, I don't even know why we're debating this. If you don't want a woman with kids, find one without one. It's that simple. Like I said, guys, this wasn't supposed to be a debate. I was only telling you guys that marriage is not bad. And if you find a woman that has a kid and you still want to marry her, that's not bad either. All I'm saying is find someone that's equally yoked to you and everything else will work itself out. If she can't be with you when you don't have a penny, she don't need to be with you when you have a million. That's how it goes. That's what I'm saying, Ken. I don't know why he's throwing all these stats out there and thinking I don't know. I'm not going to debate with people. But again, guys, if you were listening to this show tonight, thank you for tuning in. I know this was one of my latest shows. I appreciate everyone that listened in. You are appreciated, valued, and loved. And I hope to see you guys on my next show. I'm trying to get some people to get on that don't like me. I think this would be a great one to try to address people that don't really agree with me going hard for men like I do. So I want to do a show where I'm allowing these haters to speak on why they don't like me, and I'll let them use a different name. I know their real name, but I won't force them to use it on the panel. So I think what'd you say, Lenora? I think he's trying to outsmart you. It's okay. Like I said, I'm not always right. I'm not, and I don't always have the right answer. So I know that people have asked me in the past, hey, how do you address your haters? Would you ever bring them on the show? Y'all know I brought one of my haters on the show and how that went. So I would love to address a show where have a show where if people don't like me and they disagree with how I go hard for men, they think I'm a pick me ass bitch, I'm going to allow them to be on the panel. So what I'm going to do on my Instagram is I'm going to invite my haters to inbox me on Instagram and let's talk. Like I said, when we do the panel, you don't have to use your real name as long as I know your real name. We're good. But I'm going to do a show where I allow all the people, not all the people, but some of them that don't like what I do and have something against me, speak on it so we can come to an agreement. I think that'll be a good show because I know everybody doesn't agree with me and a lot of people don't like me. So I think that'll be a good show to have where they can actually tell me why they don't like me and we can get past it. So if you guys think that's a good show, I will put out a story to tell those people to inbox me and I will give them the link and we would do the show. I'm thinking on Wednesday and we'll see. And we'll see what they do. And like I said, it'll be a show where they won't be able to say bitch and all that, but they'll tell me why they don't agree with me and why they don't like me and we'll go from there. Okay? So yeah, Brill, I did a late show for you guys. So again, this was a surprise. I might throw in another one tomorrow, depends. But just stay tuned, guys. Make sure you're subscribed to me and you hit the bell. When I hit 5,000 subscribers, I will be giving away some shirts and some money, okay, to people. So all I'm saying is let's help me get to 5,000 subs and we will go from there. Okay, there's going to be a lot of good stuff in store. I hope you guys have a good night too. And like I said, my website is in the pinned comments. You can find it. Check out my website. And like I said, guys, the show that I'm going to have is going to be called Everybody Hates Daphne. That's going to be the title of the show. Please do not judge any of the people that's on the panel. They're not going to come on the show like, hey, bitch, I hate you and you're going to die. It won't be that type of show. They're just gonna say, hey, I don't like what you do when it comes to this. I'm gonna give all my haters a chance to tell me why they don't like me. I can have up to 10 people. So I am gonna put out the post today, and tomorrow. If I end up getting like 5 or 6 people that are willing to do it, then I might just do the show tomorrow and surprise you guys. Okay. Everybody Hates Daphne. Tune in to that show coming soon. And then we'll see where it goes. Cause I'm curious to see why people don't like me. Cause I didn't do nothing to them personally, but I want to know why they hate that I go hard for black men. What's the problem with that? They need it, right? So, yep. Lenora, you enjoy your night too, honey. Enjoy your night. Um, and respect to you. Is it Supreme? Respect to you. I respect you throwing out those stats, man. Like I said, if you don't want a woman with kids, find you one that ain't got no kids. If you ain't got none, you deserve to have one that doesn't have them either. Just know that there's a lot of us that don't have kids, man. We don't. I don't. How old are you? I might be able to hook you up with my sister if you're of the right age. Both my sisters are single. Both of my sisters that are older than me, they're both single. They're picky and they're selective. So they're not no city girls, hot girls. They both work. One of my sisters, she's a nurse. The other one, she's a flight attendant. They have really good jobs and careers, and they don't have any kids, y'all. They got their own. So, my dad did a good job raising us. Now, my brother, he's married with kids, but he's married, So the 2 babies got married. The 2 older ones are not. Not that they don't want to be married. It's just that they're picky. They don't just want anybody just slinging dick, right? So I come from a good family circle, guys. So like I said, yeah, Brill, people do hate getting exposed. But you know what? If I allow these haters to get on, I promise them they didn't have to use their real name. Because some people do have jobs and you don't want people to hear, damn, they hate somebody that don't even know them. We're going to have to fire them. So I respect why they want to be anonymous, but I will know who they are. Anyone that's going to be on my panel, I will know exactly who they are. They're not going to get on the panel with just a name like Jane Doe. I will know that they're a real person, but I want to give you guys this show because a lot of people say, well, so many people agree with you, but the ones that hate you never want to come on. Well, I'm going to give them that chance. I might even let my stalker come back. It depends on how I feel, but I would rather hear from new people that don't like me to see how we can fix it. And if we can't fix it, then we can't. But most people tell me they don't like me because they don't like that I hold women accountable. And if that's going to be their only defense, I will boot them off the show. I want people to come with some real reasoning on why they don't like what I do. Because what I do is not negative, right? So Everybody Hates Daphne. Look out for that show. I'll be putting up a post about it soon. I'm hoping that when I put the post out on Instagram that we can get some people within the next 24 hours. Because then I can do the show either tomorrow night or Wednesday. Okay? So guys, be on the lookout. Have a good night. And I hope to see more of you guys rocking the shirt so I can post you guys on the website. I am looking for some more mental health models. So if you do have a shirt that I sent you, send me a picture of it so I can put you on the website. You will be a part of the mental health website. Okay. So thank you guys so much for supporting me. Stay blessed. Get some sleep. Everybody Hates Daphne show coming soon. Okay. Good night, everybody.